myself I'd never cry, never break, never let the world see me like this. But here I am, on my knees, alone. Every scar on my body is a scream, every wound a whisper of a life that once was. The silence around me feels deafening, but it's nothing compared to the storm inside. You think I don't know what failure tastes like? I've eaten it, chewed it, swallowed it whole. You think I don't know pain? Pain is my companion, my shadow. It's the whisper in my ear every time I try to stand tall. And yet, here I am, still breathing, still fighting. Do you understand what it means to come this far? To drag yourself through hell, step by agonizing step, only to realize hell doesn't end. It just gets darker. I've lost everything. Friends, family, dreams, even my own damn reflection. I don't recognize the man in the mirror anymore. But maybe that's the point. Maybe the man I was needed to die so the warrior I am could rise. But God, it hurts. It hurts like nothing I can describe. It's not just the wounds on my body, it's the ones on my soul, the ones no one sees, the ones that bleed every time I close my eyes. They tell me to keep going, but they don't see the weight I carry. The promises I've broken, the lives I couldn't save. And yet, quitting isn't an option. Not for me. Not for you. Not for anyone who has come this far. Do you understand what you'd be throwing away if you quit now? Do you understand the blood, the tears, the sacrifices that got you here? You didn't crawl through the mud, didn't bleed under the weight of your own failures, just to give up now. No, that's not how this ends. You stand, you fight, even if your legs are shaking, even if your heart is screaming for mercy. Because giving up isn't just surrender, it's betrayal. Betrayal of every version of yourself that clawed through the darkness to get here. It's betrayal of the ones who believed in you, even when you didn't believe in yourself. Do you know what they'll say if you quit? They'll say, "I told you so." They'll say, "He wasn't strong enough." They'll say, "She couldn't handle it." And maybe that's what you want, to prove them right. But I won't let you. I won't let you spit on everything you fought for. You're not weak, you're tired. There's a difference. And tired warriors rest, but they don't quit. You hear me? You rest, you scream, you cry. Hell, you break into 1,000 pieces if you have to. But you get up, because the war isn't over, not yet. Every tear you've cried, every wound you've endured, It's not for nothing. It's building you, breaking you down so you can rise stronger. You don't see it now, but one day you will. One day you'll look back and realize that every step, every stumble, every failure was carving you into the weapon you were meant to be. So cry if you need to. Scream at the heavens. Curse every god you've ever prayed to. But don't quit. Don't you dare quit. Because when this is over, when the dust settles and the battlefield is silent, you'll stand tall, bloodied, battered, but unbroken. And they'll look at you, and they'll see what I see now. A warrior, a survivor. Someone who refused to let the world break them. You've come too far to quit in the process. Do you think this is all for nothing? That all the agony, all the nights spent staring at the ceiling with your chest caving in meant nothing? No, that's not how this works. Every second of pain you've endured, every betrayal, every loss, it's writing your story. And damn it, it's not going to end in failure. People will tell you to give up. They'll call you foolish for holding on, for fighting battles they think are unwinnable. But what do they know? They don't feel the fire in your soul. They don't carry the weight you do. Let them judge from the sidelines. That's all they'll ever know. Spectators to a war they're too afraid to fight themselves. But you're different. You've stood in the storm when others ran. You've faced monsters most people can't even comprehend, and you've survived. And I know you're tired. I know it feels like you've given everything, like there's nothing left to give. But you're wrong. You still have your spirit. And that spirit, that's your weapon. That's the thing they can't break, no matter how hard they try. Look around you. Look at the carnage. Every broken dream, every shattered piece of your heart. It's a battlefield. And yeah, it's ugly. It's brutal. But you're still here. Do you understand what that means? It means you're stronger than you think. Stronger than them. Stronger than the doubts in your head whispering that you're not enough. You've come too far to let them win now. To let the pain swallow you whole. Because if you give up now, all of this will have been for nothing. And that's not something you can live with. Do you remember why you started this? Why you picked up that sword? Why you walked into the fire? It wasn't for glory. It wasn't for recognition. It was because something inside you refused to settle, refused to accept the life they handed you. That fire is still there, even if it feels like it's dying. And you owe it to yourself to stoke it back to life. You think this is the end? It's not. It's the beginning. Beginnings are messy, chaotic, brutal, but they're also where the magic happens, where warriors are forged. They'll look at you and see a broken man, a broken woman, a broken soul. Let them believe you're finished. Because when you rise, and you will rise, they won't see it coming. They won't be ready for the force of nature you've become. But this isn't about them. It's about you. It's about proving to yourself that you can do this. That you're more than the sum of your pain. That the fire in your heart burns brighter than the darkness around you. So pick up your sword, wipe the blood from your hands, the tears from your face. You don't fight because it's easy. You fight because it's necessary. Because this world doesn't hand out victories. You have to take them. And I know what you're thinking. That you're too broken, too tired, too far gone. But listen to me. Broken isn't the end. It's the beginning. It's where you learn to rebuild yourself piece by piece, stronger than before. So cry if you need to. Feel every ounce of the pain, every stab of betrayal. But when you're done, you stand, you fight. Because giving up isn't an option, not for someone like you. You've come too far to quit in the process. And when this is over, when you've fought through the last ounce of pain, you'll look back and realize something. It was worth it. Every tear, every scar, every moment of doubt, it was all worth it. Because in the end, warriors aren't defined by their victories. They're defined by their resilience, by their refusal to stay down. And you, my friend, are a warrior. Don't ever forget that. So, here's the truth. You're going to hurt. You're going to doubt yourself. You're going to feel like the world is crushing you, but you're also going to rise. And when you do, when you take that first step forward, you'll realize something. You've come too far to quit now. I will not quit. Not now. Not ever. Do you feel it? That ache in your chest? That relentless weight pressing down on you? That's not weakness. That's proof you're still alive. That you still care. That the fire inside you hasn't been extinguished. They'll call it pain. But it's not. It's transformation. Every tear you've shed, every scream you've swallowed, is forging you into something they can't even comprehend. But damn it, it's hard, isn't it? doesn't care how much you've already endured. It just keeps coming, wave after wave, testing how much more you can take. And you wonder, how much is enough? When will it stop? But that's the thing. It doesn't stop. Life doesn't pause for the wounded, for the broken. It keeps moving. And you have to move with it. I know you're tired. I know the kind of exhaustion that goes beyond the body, that digs into your very soul. You don't just feel it, you carry it. Every step feels like dragging a mountain behind you. Every breath feels stolen, like the air itself is against you. But listen to me. You've survived everything so far. Do you hear me? Everything. Every wound, every heartbreak, every sleepless night. You've faced them all, and you're still standing. Do you know what that makes you? It makes you unstoppable. Because no matter how much the world throws at you, you keep going. And yeah, it's not pretty, it's not graceful. Sometimes it's messy, brutal, chaotic, but it's real. And that's what makes it powerful. You think this pain is here to destroy you? No, it's here to awaken you, to strip away everything that isn't truly you, to leave behind only what's real, what's unbreakable. You are not the person who started this journey. That version of you is gone, dead, and what's left? A warrior. But warriors don't get to rest, not yet. Not until the battle is won, not until the scars on your body are matched by the victories in your soul. Do you want to know the truth? Most people quit. They don't make it this far. They get scared, they get tired, and they let the darkness consume them. But not you. You're still here. You're still fighting. And that makes you different. That makes you dangerous. Because a person who has faced the worst and still stands is someone the world should fear. You've bled for this. You've sacrificed for this. And yeah, maybe you've lost more than you've gained. But quitting now, that's not an option. Not for someone who's come this far. Because the moment you quit, everything you've endured becomes meaningless. Every tear, every scar, every ounce of pain, it all disappears the moment you give up. And I know it feels like no one sees you, like no one cares. But you're wrong. Someone out there is watching. Someone is waiting to see if you'll rise or if you'll fall. They're waiting to see if you'll prove them wrong, if you'll become the person they never believed you could be. So rise, not for them, not for the doubters or the haters, or even the ones who believed in you. Rise for yourself. Rise because you deserve it, because you've earned it. You think this is about winning? It's not. It's about refusing to lose. It's about standing in the face of everything that's tried to break you and saying, I'm still here. Do you know what that does? It terrifies them. The ones who doubted you, the ones who hurt you, the ones who said you'd never make it, because they can't understand it. They don't know what it takes to endure the kind of pain you've endured. They don't know what it means to rise again and again, no matter how many times you're knocked down. And that's why you'll win. Not because it's easy, not because you're invincible, but because you refuse to give up. So go ahead, cry if you need to, scream, break down. But when you're done, you pick yourself back up. You wipe the tears from your face, the blood from your hands, and you keep going. Because the truth is, you've come too far to quit in the process. This isn't just about surviving, it's about living, about proving to yourself that you are more than the pain, more than the scars, more than the doubts that haunt you. So rise, warrior, not because it's easy, but because you must. Not because the world deserves it, but because you do. And when the day comes, when the battle is over and the dust has settled, you'll stand tall and you'll look back on this moment, not with regret, but with pride, because you'll know that you didn't just survive, you conquered. You've come too far to quit now, so don't. Do you think I haven't wanted to quit? That I haven't stood exactly where you're standing now and asked myself if it's all worth it? I've been there. I've stared into the void and felt it staring back at me, mocking me, daring me to step forward. And every time, I felt the pull to give up, to drop my sword, fall to my knees, and let the darkness win. But I didn't. Not because I'm stronger than you, not because I'm braver, but because I refused to let it take everything from me. You hear me? Everything. My dignity, my fight, my soul. I refuse to let the pain define me, to let it decide who I am or who I could be. And neither can you. You think quitting will make the pain go away? It won't. The pain will still be there, lingering in the shadows, whispering in your ear every time you close your eyes. And worse, you'll have to live with the knowledge that you could have kept going, that you could have fought just a little harder, held on just a little longer, but you didn't. And that regret, that's the kind of pain that never fades. Look at me. Look at these scars, these wounds that never healed. Every one of them tells a story, a battle I fought, a moment I survived. And yeah, some of them came with victories, but most came from failures, from nights I thought would never end, from battles I lost. But do you know what matters? That I survived, that I'm still here. Because the truth is, you don't need to win every battle. You don't need to be perfect or strong or fearless. You just need to keep going, to endure, to outlast the pain, because eventually the pain will fade. The wounds will heal. And what will be left? The warrior you were always meant to be. You think the world owes you something? It doesn't. The world doesn't care about your dreams, your struggles, your pain. But you don't fight for the world. You fight for you. For the person you see when you look in the mirror. For the person you know you can be. Because the truth is, you've already proven them wrong. Just by standing here, just by surviving this far. You've done what most people couldn't. They would have given up long ago. They would have let the darkness consume them. But not you. Do you know why? Because you're different. You're a fighter, and fighters don't quit. So here's the deal. You can sit there and let the pain win. You can let it take everything from you. Or you can stand up, take a deep breath, and keep moving forward. It doesn't matter how slow you go. It doesn't matter how many times you stumble or fall. What matters is that you don't stop. Because every step you take, no matter how small, is a victory. Every moment you endure is a testament to your strength. And one day, you'll look back on this moment. You'll remember the pain, the doubt, the fear. But you'll also remember that you didn't give up, that you didn't let the darkness win. And that's what makes you a warrior. I know it's not easy. God, I know. Every day feels like a battle. Every step feels like a war. But you've come too far to quit now. So stand up, wipe the tears from your face. Let the world see your scars, your pain, your defiance. Let them see that no matter how many times you've been knocked down, you're still here. Because at the end of the day, that's what being a warrior is all about. It's not about never falling. It's about always rising. You are not your pain. You are not your scars. You are not your failures. You are a warrior, and warriors don't quit. You've come too far to quit in the process. Keep going. Do you know what they'll remember about you? Not the times you fell, not the moments you broke. They'll remember how you got back up. They'll remember the fight in your eyes when the world tried to snuff you out. Because warriors like you, we don't get to fade into the background. Our pain, our scars, they make us stand out. They tell the world, here is someone who's seen hell and chose to walk through it anyway. And I get it. God, I get it. Some days you just want it all to stop. The noise in your head, the ache in your chest, the heaviness in your soul. It feels endless. Like no matter how hard you fight, it's never enough. But let me tell you something. The fact that you're still here, still breathing, still fighting, that's more than enough. That's everything. Because the truth is, most people wouldn't have made it this far. Most people would have given in to the darkness, let it swallow them whole. But not you. You stood against it, even when it felt like the entire world was against you. And that makes you unstoppable. But don't confuse that with being unbreakable. You're going to break again and again. That's just part of the process. But breaking doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you failed. It means you're human. And every time you break, you have a choice to let the pieces stay shattered or to pick them up and rebuild yourself stronger. And I know it's tempting to just stay down, to let the pieces lie there and say, this is it, I'm done. But you're not done. Not yet, not even close. Because you didn't survive everything you've been through just to give up now. You didn't claw your way out of the pit just to fall back in. You didn't fight through the pain, the heartbreak, the doubt, just to let it all go. You've come too far to quit in the process. So stop thinking about how much further you have to go. Stop looking at the mountain ahead and telling yourself it's impossible. Focus on the step in front of you. Just one step. That's all you need to take right now. And when that step is done, you take another, and another, and another. Until one day you look back and realize you've climbed the mountain that once seemed insurmountable. But don't think for a second that it'll be easy. It won't. Nothing worth fighting forever is. And you're worth fighting for. You're worth every drop of sweat, every tear, every ounce of pain. You're worth the struggle, the sacrifice, the battle. Because you're not just fighting for yourself. You're fighting for every version of you that thought about giving up, but didn't. You're fighting for the people who believe in you, even if they're not here anymore. You're fighting for the legacy you'll leave behind when this is all over. And let me tell you something about legacies. They're not built in moments of comfort. They're built in the fire, in the chaos, in the moments when you feel like you have nothing left to give. And you're building yours right now. So cry if you need to. Scream. Let the pain out. But don't you dare let it stop you. Don't you dare let it define you. Because you're more than your pain. You're more than your scars. You're more than the doubts that creep into your mind at night. You're a warrior. And warriors don't quit. You think this is the end? It's not. It's the beginning of a story that will be told long after you're gone. A story about a warrior who faced the darkness and refused to back down. A story about someone who turned their pain into power, their scars into strength, their struggles into triumph. And that story, it starts with you. So stand up, pick up your sword, take one more step, because you've come too far to quit in the process. One day, you'll look back on this moment and realize it was the turning point. The moment you decided to keep going when every fiber of your being was telling you to stop. The moment you chose to fight, even when it felt like the fight was already lost. And when that day comes, you'll understand something you don't see now. You'll understand that every step, every stumble, every failure, it was all leading you here, to this moment, to this victory. So keep going. Not because it's easy, not because you're fearless, but because you're a warrior. You've come too far to quit now. So don't. Keep going. Keep fighting. And never ever give up.